You might not know this, but your first investment property will most likely not be with you forever. How you wrap your head around that? You take the emotions out of it. So a big thing I learned from my first investment property is that I was all gung-ho, bought it, did a couple things wrong in the beginning when I was analyzing the property. But the number one thing I thought when I bought this property was, I'm gonna have this property for the next 20, 30 years. It's gonna pay me an amazing return down the road. That's not the case. The one big mistake that I realized with the real estate and understanding real estate, the markets and how everything works, is you have to understand cycles. So depending on the property, depending on how you got into your first property, the goal is always to bring that property up to its top potential and move on to the next bigger potential. So the biggest thing I learned through that is when you're talking about a single family or a duplex or a conversion property, and that was my first one, it was a duplex. So it was a single family, which we ended up converting. Now, the conversion cost a lot more money than it was probably worth to do. But again, with the mindset that I'm gonna have this property forever, I came at it the wrong way. Of course, the market started to turn, things got better as we were renovating it. And this is the one part that I've learned for all investors is every time you finish a renovation on your property, you have to look at the market in its current state. If the current state makes the most sense to sell it, sell that property, wait till the market cools a little bit and get back in. You may not be getting back in at the original price that you bought your home for, but at the current market conditions, you'll be getting in at a lower price. So the big mistake I made was as I was going through this, I realized the market was hot, things were going crazy, but instead of being, hey, let's test the market and jump on a great price, my mindset was I'm keeping this home forever, it doesn't matter what's going on with the market. Wrong. It does matter what's going on with the market. Because again, with certain properties, you're only gonna be able to maximize the profit to a certain level. And then you're waiting on the market to just appreciate. So with this kind of a property, I brought it to its highest state. It was vacant at the time, which as an investment property, that's the best time to sell your property is when it's vacant. And every time it turns over, you should be analyzing the market to see, is this the right time? I have no tenants. Do I do a small reno and do I flip it? Reason being, it is the hardest to sell your property with tenants in it and it will never show the same. So overall, what I've learned through this is each property you have to analyze the situation, understand, is there anything I can do to the property to bring it up anymore? Is this a great asset where I'm saying, okay, purposely built, the property isn't 50, 100 years old, it may be a single or a duplex that's actually a legal property, there's no issues, I have amazing tenants, I'm getting market rent. If those things are still checking the right boxes for you, keep the property. But understand the goal in all real estate is to condense a single family, a duplex, 2-3 condos into a bigger investment because the goal at the end of the day, and this is what I didn't realize, is the purpose is to find an investment that's gonna bring you higher market rent. If the purpose of your property is to keep it for 20, 25 years, you want that rent to be able to be from day one, $4,000 or $5,000, because guess what? 20 years later, if it's starting from day one at around $4,000 or $5,000, you can guarantee just off inflation alone, you're gonna be getting around a $6,000 to $7,000. I'm making the numbers up, but still, you can understand in 20 years how rental rates are gonna increase. That $6,000, $7,000 a month now when that property is paid off is always gonna be better than the $2,000 or the $2,300 single family house or the condo. So understand you're always trying to up the game and you're always trying to get into that bigger asset so that you're in a comfortable position down the road. So long story short, what's the right way? What's the wrong way? Right way, look for that asset with some potential to grow into, look for some potential to do some renos, and then understand every time those tenants are turning over or you're in a vacant situation, make sure you're analyzing the market to see where the gains have been. If the market is riding on that high and you're seeing that it's very competitive, there's a lack of sellers out there, jump in there, capitalize on that market, and enter back in at a later time. Wrong way what I did, we had that property ready to go, we had it at the peak market, we thought to ourselves, this is gonna be our forever home, which it wasn't. It was an older home, it's not something you keep. So understand your asset, understand how old it is, and that will help you out and keep you moving on your real estate adventure. I learned the hard way, so you can do it the right way the first time. If you love this information and you want some more, send me a message. I have a calendar right below. Click the link, subscribe, and we'll get you some more and we'll chat.